today was interesting because I DNF'd a book that was supposed to be for a book club that I'm a part of, that last month I was supposed to read the book, and it was on hold at the library for like weeks. And finally I got it, but I was like, I just couldn't get into it. But I also got this from the library the other day, so it's time. I've been looking forward to this and I keep hearing so many great things. I'm like, okay, it's time. I knew I was gonna do it in spring or summer, even though it looks like it's a very wintry type of book from what they're wearing, or autumn or something. When the day comes, I've only read the first page just to know exactly what's happening, only briefly. So I really don't know what's going on. I just know it's set in the 1700s, 1774 it said. And she's writing a newspaper. Her name is Libby, I think. She has a younger sister, Rebecca, and she and her mother are writing a gazette, which is interesting because in the 1700s, women weren't really known to be businessy, so I'm curious about that. And I know this is a time traveling story with 2 different time periods, so we'll see where I'm going. Oh, 1914. So I'm gonna try it out. We'll see how I like it. Day 2 of reading this. I didn't get to read much yesterday. I wanted to because I'm also reading like 2 other books, maybe it was 3 other books. Today I could devote a little more time to it, so I started reading a little bit more today. I'm on page 104, and this is what I've gathered from this so far. We have Libby, and she is living with her mother, and her mother actually had been a time traveler, and she herself is a time traveler. So that means that they live in 2 different time periods, and eventually when they turn 21, they get to choose which one they want to live in. So her mother, they have like a special birthmark. Her mother was born in the 70s, and in the 90s, she decided to live in the 1700s. And we don't get to learn much of her story at this point, so I don't know if there'll be more about that, but I'm interested. But Libby, she was born in the 1700s and in the late 1800s. So this is in 1774 and 1914. So she is almost 20. So she's got a little over a year left before she gets to choose something. In the 1700s, it is right before the Revolutionary War. She's living in Williamsburg in Virginia, and she has this guy she's interested in. They've been friends, they've grown up together, but they haven't really expressed what they feel. I just got to a chapter where they're actually spending a little bit of time together. It's the first time that we have them kind of alone, trying to talk to one another. So I appreciated that chapter. I do not like 1914 because she is dealing with a mother that doesn't really care for her, just kind of wants to push her off and to marry someone. And she's being pushed onto this one guy who is a politician so that she can marry him. She doesn't even seem to like the guy at all. They just met. They like went to an opera together. So at this point, I mean, the guy doesn't really seem like he's connecting, and he's like kind of wanting to just have a certain type of woman, and she speaks her mind, but her mother is so pushy and keeps like telling her what to do, how to be, and it's irritating. While her mother in the 1700s, being born in a time period where you're a little more independent as a woman, she's like, be your own woman. I'm enjoying this story. It has a really good build up. I'm looking forward to what goes on a little bit more as I read this because everyone's hyping this up. So far I'm not really like deeply sucked in, but I'm hoping for it. I am now on page 249. There are 360 something, 364. So I have about 115-ish pages or so. There's been a lot of hype about this book. I've seen it everywhere, like everywhere. Everyone is talking about this. I think that it's well told. The stories in here are great, but I don't know what's wrong with me that I'm not like adoring it. Like I think I was like expecting myself to be like pulled into it, but I'm not. Of course, one of her timelines is better because there's something that takes place on the other one. I mean, there are a lot of bad things that actually take place on her one timeline that I don't like, but there's also some good things. You know, I try to see the positive on both sides. There are negatives and positives to both. But the story, the way it's written is great. She does a very good job with writing. This is my second of her books, not, you know, this is my first of this series, but my second of her books that I have read, and just this year even. But I don't know, like, I feel horrible saying that I don't adore this book. Like, for me, this is kind of average, a little bit more than average. Like, at this point, I'm at like 3.25 stars to rate it. I'm so sorry. But I like it. It's not bad at all. I don't know, maybe I'll like one of the other books better from this series. I was talking about it with my husband because he's very into like time travel type of stuff, and there is a right way to do it. And I told him about that. He's like, that kind of sounds dumb. I was like, hey, like, it's not dumb. I find it interesting. But one thing that just blows my mind is that she has to live 2 lifetimes. So she lives the same day twice in 2. So she even says that she's basically lived 40 years, but she's only 20. That's rough. She's like stays young in all of those years. I can't imagine. She lives Christmas in her one timeline. She wakes up and it's Christmas on her other timeline. So she's living Christmas twice, December 26th twice, Boxing Day twice. That's rough. But with 2 different timelines, 2 different sets of parents, 2 different locations. But in one timeline, she is in the Revolutionary War period, like going into it. And then the other one is at the start of World War I. Which war would I rather live in? Neither. Wow. So what I don't like, right at the beginning of this book, she says, I already know which timeline I'm going to choose. We already know what timeline she's going to choose. And as you go through this, you already know what timeline she's going to choose. So I already know what she's going to choose. She doesn't have to think about it. And I bet when I get to the end of this, that's what she's going to choose. I don't think we're going to be surprised. I want there to be good things to happen in both timelines. There's really not in the one. So to me, like right away, I know, well, she's not going to choose that because it's just not a good. She just doesn't like much about that timeline. She has like maybe a couple things that she really enjoys about it, while the other one, she has many things that she enjoys. So I'm looking forward to the pirate one, honestly. I decided I would do a vlog while reading this without like going too crazy. With just over 100 pages, I'm going to probably read at least 50 to 60 pages more today, maybe more. I could finish this book today. When I finish it, maybe I'll do another video when I finish. I'm on page 304. I know it's gonna happen, but it can't work because of time travel laws, okay? There are rules for time travel, guys. If she's living in one time and another time, there could be rifts that happen and things can change for sure. But if she's in the future in one time and she reads about the past, or she learns about the past, or we're taught about the past in a future time, what happened in the past is the past. But if she's changing something from the past, her future self will also read about that because she's still living in the past in one thing and she's living in the future, which would be her present. So what she knows and what she learns can't be changed. That's set. You can't change that. I think that she can't really change things, but I know what she's gonna do. I know what she's gonna do. You can't fool me. You, author, can't fool me. In reality, I mean, none of this would be reality anyway. And I can't say a spoiler to people. And when I record my last video, after I read these last 60 something pages, I bet you I'm right. This has to do with a character in the old time period that she's in, not the newer time period. And if this is why people love this book, it's not gonna get me to love it. I have 60 something pages left. I'm still not like soaked in and sucked in. So we'll see. But one thing that I was realizing, God made every day unique. I don't think that this could work anyway. How is it that she is living one day twice? World doesn't work like that, right? So how is that even possible? It's an interesting thing though. I could sort of see how it could work. If you were living one day in one year, but you wake to another day, but it's the same day, but a different year, okay. All right, I get it. I'm having a scone here. Yesterday I finished this book, so I was able to like really get through it at the final parts. It became a lot more interesting. There is a little bit of faith in this book, but I feel like there's not enough. I think the message is to trust God with your life and to know that He is working through it and that everything works for His good. But what boggles my mind is that we are each a unique creation. Each one of us. We're all important to God. So then why would He create this person to have two timelines and other people when He formed us in the womb with a soul? So why is her soul jumping from one to the next? And also, how is she able to sleep in one body but wake in another? But that other body is still asleep. Is she dead with her soul out of it? These are things that I think about when I think about time travel. And when we're Christians, and this is a Christian book, I understand she probably wrote this because the Outlander series was getting really big. I have no idea. But the idea of a unique time travel and going into another time, as a Christian, I don't see how that is possible. With the idea that we have creative mind, God created us to be creative, to create stories like this. I get it. It's fiction. In going through that, I gotta get rid of that full reality. It was in my thoughts while reading it. Will I continue this series? Absolutely. While it was really good, I felt like it was a little more than average. I gave it 3.5 stars. There were some hard things in this story I did not really like. The thing that I thought would happen at the end, when I recorded that, without giving anything away, I was partially right, but also wrong. For different things that I said, I was wrong. But what I thought was going to happen was not completely far off, but it was a little surprising, and it was good. I wish I could say more of my thoughts of this, but I really wanted this to be spoiler-free. So I'm going to keep it to myself. You could see some of my spoilers. I put them on Goodreads for my review, where I hid them so you would click on spoiler to read what it is. But some of my thoughts on it was like, I've grown up around people that are controlling and manipulative. There's the proverb that says, like, a dog goes to his vomit, we go back to our folly. And so when someone promises you that they're going to be different, but they're not being different, the only thing that's really going to change them is God, ultimately. But they have to be willing. There are apologies in this book, which I appreciated. I don't know if there would have been complete change even over time. So maybe it's just something that I struggle with understanding. But it was a very good story. Like I said, I was interested the whole way through. I think for the romance portion, I would have liked a little bit more going in the beginning through. I would have liked a little more attachment maybe shown. I felt like we didn't get that until like more than halfway through, like an understanding of an attachment. So yeah, those are my final thoughts. I don't know. What do you guys think? If you want to talk spoilers with me, you can send me a message on Instagram. I'm also on Discord. I've been on Discord for years. My username is Justice Pirate on there. But yeah, so we could talk if you want about this a little bit more. Would I recommend this book? Yeah, I would. Anything that I recommend, it's got to be like over 3 stars, and so I recommend it. But I'm hoping I like the next book more. Because of how this ended, I'm curious. I'm intrigued. I want to understand what will be next. I don't know, which one is the next one? Is that the pirate one, or is the next one the sibling one? Now I understand why people hyped it up. I just didn't outright adore it. I am totally one of those outdoor people where I read out here in the grass. It's so nice. So that's what I'm gonna do. I like to read author's notes. Do you guys like to read author's notes? I just feel like sometimes they give you like little information. So this book, this is about a woman who is living in Germany, in Berlin, and she lives with her almost mother-in-law. They hear word that her fiance that she had been engaged to like 15 years earlier and hadn't heard from in all that time, that supposedly he was dead. So she goes to Asheville, North Carolina, which is a beautiful area. And while she's there, she finds out answers. I don't know how to explain it. I'll explain it at another time, but so far so good. There is a chair behind me that you see, this like wicker chair thing. I'll be sitting over there. One of these. I don't know why my landlord has all these chairs over here. I'm gonna sit in one of them. They are not my chairs, they're his chairs, but I can use them. I can use whatever is in his yard according to him, so We share this yard. It's small, and I wish I could do a lot more in this yard, but there's only so much I'm allowed to do. And he does all the landscaping and the planting of things, and I can't, and I would love to. So the sun feels so good. I'm probably gonna get color. All right, bye.